and welcome to Travel Tip Tuesday. Today we're going to talk about traveling alone and loving it. Now, there's lots of times I travel by myself, and I know some people are worried about traveling alone, so I want to go over it today with you to ease your mind and give you some suggestions and travel tips on traveling alone. First of all, there's different tour companies that you could use. A lot of times traveling alone, people like to go with an escorted tour company. An escorted tour company, you'll be traveling with a group of people with a set itinerary. You'll make new friends, you'll explore the world, and you'll feel at ease doing it. But some of us are a little more adventurous and want to go out on our own. So I want to give you some tips for that. There's lots of times I do some work travel where I go to neat destinations, but then I'm there by myself and the trip is over. I might extend it a little, or I might just have some free time. And I've used personally a lot of these tips. So let me go over some of them with you now. Understand how travel contributes to happiness. Okay, that's a big tip. So don't deprive yourself of this travel ability because you're solo, or maybe traveling on, maybe this particular destination only you want to go see. Go make that trip. Save up. That's a big tip. Some of these tips at first are going to be kind of generic. They could be for single or group travel, but know your budget. That's a good one too, particularly if you're single, because you don't want to, what do they say, break the bank. You don't want to do that for a trip, because then you'll have a lot of remorse afterwards. So know your budget and stay within your budget. Decide on your destination, and then buy travel insurance. This isn't only, these tips here I just gave you are not just for solo travels, but know your destination and buy travel insurance are just very good tips in general. Book solo-friendly accommodations. You will find that some accommodations do adapt better to the solo traveler than if you're traveling in a group. Pack light. If you can't pack light, then try to pack smart. Make sure that you're bringing the right amount of things and not a bunch of extra things. No one's going to be there to carry your luggage. I've learned this the hard way too. So make sure you make it as easy on yourself as you can. Know how to stay in touch. This is a big one. Set up your phone so it can call from any country. And it's a lot easier to do than people think. You can just make one call to your cell phone provider, and you may find that it's only $10 a day, and what ease of mind you'll have to have complete flexibility to use your phone in any country. So check on that. Be patient, relax, and enjoy. That's a big one for solo or non-solo. And be proactive. If you're unsure where you're going, ask someone. Don't stand around looking dazed and confused. That's not a good look when you're in a different country, or even in our own country, so don't be afraid to ask for help. Know which way is up, and that means look at your maps, study your surrounding, know which way. I usually sit in a room and know and do a little study of the map and know every way I could go this way. If I go this way, how I can get back to my hotel. Stay low key. Don't flash expensive jewelry or expensive cameras or electronics. Traveling alone does not mean lonely. So here's a big tip. Smile. Let me tell you what, it's a universal language. And if someone smiles at you, it's really hard not to smile back. Learn a few words in the local language. You don't have to be fluent, but you should maybe know a few words. I always have this problem when I visit France. I got Italian and I got Spanish really good, but those French words really throw me, so I really try to brush up a little before I go. It's helpful. Stay in places that encourage talking and friend building. Common places, maybe a coffee shop or a common place in the hotel lobby. Establish a routine. Maybe get to know the local people. Maybe go to a same diner every night and establish a routine where you'll get to know the locals and they'll get to know you as well. Take escorted tours. If you didn't want your entire trip to be escorted, that's fine. But go ahead and take an escorted day tour. Meet some people on that day tour that you may even flow into the evening doing some things with them as well. Be obvious. It's okay to look like a tourist. Sometimes it's the right look. People will be more helpful to you. Read. Always bring a book when you're traveling alone. I find this the most helpful tip. I always read and always feel good about it and got a little reading time in. Plan your transportation wisely. Anything you need to know about the buses or subways or anything, how they're going, make those plans ahead of time and know the different types of transportation. Confirm it's safe. That's a very broad statement. One, confirm the destination is safe by doing a little research. But if you're already in a city, let's say I'm in Washington, D.C., I had a little business, now I have time after. So I'll ask the concierge at the hotel, if I walk like a couple blocks this way, what will I see? Is it safe to do that? I was in New York City and asked the silly question if it was all right to walk around at night, and then I saw there's tons of people walking around at night, but it was still the smart thing to do. Ask the concierge about the safety of the area. Stay connected with the staff. If you're in a hotel, let them kind of know you and you know them. I do this frequently when I travel alone. I get to know the staff a little. They get to know me when I come in. They say, hey, they watch for me to come in, and that's really good when you're traveling alone as well. Now again, I mentioned some tour operators charge double when you're solo. A lot of all-inclusives do that. A lot of cruise lines do that. But there's a lot of places out there that don't. Watch for the single traveling accommodations. Watch for the single traveler ads. There's some cruise lines that allow a single person not to pay double. There's some all-inclusives that do that. There's some cruise lines now that have accommodations just for a single. And just watch for those trips. There's different types of trips. There's a lot of trips even organized for a bunch of singles to go together so they can make friends and meet. So I hope this today was helpful for any of you single travelers out there. Just a few tips so you remember the biggest thing is travel contributes to your happiness. So make sure you get to do it, whether you're by yourself or with a group of people or with one other person, just as long as you're out there traveling. Thank you.